Howdy all, grab yourselves a beer, it is time for some Path of Exile, and in this video I'm just going to demonstrate the way that my Divine Ire Guardian has been running, just taking a low tier map into the chaos of the flashback event. I'm using absolute dumpster tier gear, as is apparent from my life total. You'll notice I'm using a Tabula Rasa. I'm using Harimso, which also has no life on it, so I'm very squishy. And you'll see here that my gear, obliteration's a nice enough item, I guess. I've got just pure life on these two pieces. I had to craft dexterity on this in order to be able to equip this, but it was just something I picked up. And then we've just got pretty much rubbish everywhere else. And I'm still stuck with boots that don't have movement speed because I just can't get rid of the life and the resist combination. Not that the life and resist on these gloves are any good, on these boots are any good, but they're just something. Now, you'll notice, oh, Divine Ire just leveled, that's 19 now, that's good. You'll notice that I'm running 3 heralds here. That is for combination of factors. Basically, heralds are just fun, that's the first thing. But you're doing a single massive physical damage hit that is then converted to other elements. That makes Herald of Ash incredible, because the overkill damage is just unbelievable on that. You'll also notice that I'm pretty much running around with consistent maximum power and frenzy and endurance charges. That's because of the Guardian node Harmony of Purpose, which is very, very solid on this build. In fact, it's the only reason you would consider Guardian. Guardian's probably still not the right choice for the build, but it's a functional setup that works. I'm very squishy, I think I've mentioned that a couple of times, and it's the reason I'm running the hell away from a lot of hits that I would normally face tank, and that later on I'll be able to face tank even in much higher tier maps than just a, what are we in? We're in a tier 4 at the moment. I've completed all of the tiers 1, 2 and 3 on the Atlas, some of the 4s, some of the 5s, and I've also completed all the 7s. What I did there was I joined someone that was advertising in Trade 820, the channel for trade of services in game. They were charging 5 Chaos Orbs. They had purchased a set of tier 7 maps, and they were running a get away from that. They're running a tier set service, which is a very useful setup. It's quite lucrative for the person running them. They do very well out of the deal because all the map drops go to them. And would you pay to cheat sites? Piss off. 1 sec, I'm just going to report that. Sorry, yes, so the, oh, that's one of the invasion bosses. Alright, that's a bit. Running my new loot filter, which is a lot better than the old ones, hopefully won't have any more Exalted Shard incidents for people that... I'd say thank you to the people that pointed that out to me, but also fuck you for pointing it out to me. Could have just let me remain in ignorance. Anyone that's out of the loop there, I had a bunch of incidents where I was using a really poorly configured loot filter for leveling, and as a consequence I just flat out didn't see a pile of Exalt Shards that dropped, but it was during a video that I was recording, so of course what I don't see, you guys do. And so I wound up being, you know, everyone should feel free to laugh at me for it. Fortunately, it's only Exalt Shards. It's like, what, in a mature league, an Exalt Shard's 9 Chaos or so. The status that we're in at the moment, there's sort of 4 or 5. I think there were 3 of them, so no catastrophe. I'm leveling a whole bunch of Winter Orb gems as I go as well, partly because I expect a lot of people will want those. And one of the things that happens when you're running lower tier maps, you level gems really fast. It's because you just run through the maps so quickly. And Winter Orb remains the best skill in the game. There's going to be people trying to Varl them to get level 21s. There's going to be people Varling them to get 2120s. And I will probably end up just selling them as level 20s. Parandus has been fairly lucrative. In terms of the actual flashback mods, Parandus and Harbinger are the 2 that are the most lucrative. Beyond is the most chaotic and fun. and combinations of any of beyond in conjunction with any of Ambush, Harbinger, or Parandus is absolutely madness. There was a time that unique was worth a lot in the game. That time is a very long time ago. I will research it after I finish recording just to make certain that I'm not missing something. It hasn't come back into favour, but I think it's just generally a sort of 5 chaos unique now. Also, we've had clarification. I mentioned a bunch about actively seeking out invasion bosses in order to find the divination card that I submitted, which was the Price of Protection. Drops from them. We've had confirmation that that only drops in level 80 and above. I don't know whether that means level 80 plus monsters or level 80 plus zones. But in any case, that's either... it's definitely only in red maps, and it may also not be in tiers 11 and 12. Anyways, that's how the build is playing. That was a lot smoother than the other time I tried to record this video in an ancient city, which had Betrayal, had Beyond, Harbinger, and Ambush, which caused absolute madness and ended up with me dying 3 times to my own recklessness. But you'll see there that the key synergy between the Harmony of Purpose node on the Guardian, so that's this node here. Nearby enemies cannot gain frenzy power and endurance charges. Yeah, I don't care. You and nearby party members share charges with each other, which is useful whenever I'm in a group, and 10% chance to gain a power frenzy or endurance charge on hit. Divine Ire hits with all these little charge up stages that it does. So you'll see as my count goes up to 20, everything within that circle is being hit continually during that time. And so as a result, you really quickly get to the cap. Anyways, if you've got any questions, fire away. Otherwise, have a good one.